this song lyric, particularly in the last several hours, day, whenever you happen to be coming across this video, it's really struck with a lot of people in a not so bright way. And it goes by this, and I quote, "When it comes crashing down, it hurts inside," end quote. And yeah, this news has really hurt a lot of people, and that's the passing of Hulk Hogan slash Terry Bollea, and it's really hurt my heart too. So yeah, Hulk Hogan, one of the greatest, if not the greatest professional wrestler of all time, has passed away at the age of 71. And when I first saw this news, on an early Thursday morning, on that early Thursday morning, I was just like stunned. Like I froze for a second. I wasn't sure what to do. I was pretty much in denial that he passed away. I thought it was like fake news, but then the hours went by. It was real. So yeah, the greatest wrestler of all time is no longer with us, and damn, it's just surreal. Now, what some people love Hulk Hogan, some people don't like Hulk Hogan. Um, I'll address that part of the people don't liking Hulk Hogan later, but you know, for my perspective, I actually didn't experience Hulk Hogan. I didn't get a first glimpse of Hulk Hogan until 2006. That was when I first started watching Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I was a late bloomer of HulkaMania, running wild. And that was in the late Ruthless Aggression era. During the late prime years of Hulk Hogan, when he was in that late resurgence period. Yeah, 2006 is when he had that SummerSlam feud with Randy Orton, and I believe that was his last match in WWE. And then he moved on to TNA, and 2010's TNA. He was the general manager with Eric Bischoff when they formed Immortal at the end of the year, and then he had that storyline with Sting, and yeah, he turned babyface, I believe, at the end of 2011, or beginning of 2012, and then he became the general manager for a little while, before he left in, I think, 2013. So that was pretty much Hulk Hogan, and then he returned in 2014 to announce WrestleMania 30 at the Silverdome, brother. Oh man, Hulk Hogan, but at least did get to see Hulk Hogan live in the flesh. At WrestleMania 31, during that Triple H and Sting match. That I didn't expect. I didn't expect that to happen. That was my only instance of seeing Hulk Hogan live in the flesh. But yeah, I know there's a lot of rambling going on, but yeah, a lot of good memories seeing Hulk Hogan, where it's on my screen, or my only instance in the flesh. Growing up. But speaking of growing up, like I said, going back to the very beginning of it all, again, late bloomer of HulkaMania when I first started watching wrestling in 2006. And, even though I was a late bloomer of HulkaMania, that's why we had YouTube. Even in its early infancy, we had the power of YouTube in the palm of our hands on our old ass computers. And even also on our cable providers, we had something called WWE Classics on Demand. We didn't have the WWE Network at the time. We didn't have Peacock. We had something called WWE Classics on Demand, even if it was a free trial version, pal. So on and on. Then I used WWE Classics on Demand, and then I also mostly used YouTube to look up Hulk Hogan. Like, why was Hulk Hogan such a big deal? Like, what was Hulk Hogan all about? And the more I saw Hulk Hogan, the more I learned, this guy's a very big deal. Like, this guy was indeed the greatest wrestler of all time. Like, he was the biggest, not wrestler, of all time, both in WWE and just wrestling in general. Like he was such a very impactful player, and I say franchise player of the WWE and in wrestling in general, because yeah, he was selected to lead the WWE on this national expansion, and boy did he. Boy did he. You know, with that physique, that look, and that really good storytelling he had throughout the 1980s and even in the early 90s before he left. And he was he was also such a good role model to kids. And his overall presentation that garnered him big media exposure up to the late 80s, and especially that mantra, saying your prayers, eating your vitamins, and training hard, pal. Yeah. And of course, that good old catchphrase, what you gonna do when HulkaMania runs wild on you? You and you. Oh man. Like all those HulkaMania catchphrases and all the good stuff. All the good stuff is all I could say. But yeah, and all the matches too. Hogan versus Warrior, Hogan versus Savage at WrestleMania 5, if I remember 5, and then Hogan versus Warrior at 6, and then especially the most famous one of all time, Hogan versus Andre at WrestleMania 3 in the real Silver Dome that made the WWE famous as it already was. If not, it put it even more on the map with the big body slam on Andre the Giant. And then obviously there wouldn't be a WrestleMania without the first WrestleMania in WrestleMania 1 with Hogan and Mr. T taking on Roddy Piper, and yeah, I forgot who his partner was. Paul Orndorff, if I remember correctly from my WrestleMania retro review a year or two ago. But anyway, that's besides the point. Like, without Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon's trust in Hogan to be the franchise player to lead the WWE on its golden era, there wouldn't be a WWE. There wouldn't be a professional wrestling wouldn't be where it is today, and wouldn't be as mainstream as it is today. Like it would pretty much be like a more niche product as it is right now. So, yeah, I know Hulk Hogan, as you know, both as a person and as a wrestler, has had his downsides, has his drawbacks. You know, his political pull, both in real life and backstage as a wrestler. You know, all those jokes about that doesn't work for me, brother. All the brothering backstage. You know, all those jokes we like to make about that meme. In various instances, whether it was in WWE or WCW. I'll talk about WCW later, so I don't sidetrack on things. And then, yeah, you also had a lot of creative differences, like going back to the politicking backstage in wrestling, and then you also had that incident in 2015 with the tapes being exposing Hulk Hogan using the certain word that, you know, people still have a vice grip, an agenda, hatred towards him, and you know, to this point, you know, they're celebrating and dancing for him passing away. I'm like, why are we doing this to Hulk Hogan in this most recent event? Like, can we not do this just because you have a grudge for Hulk Hogan and his I'm just gonna say it, his racism? Like, can we not do that? Like, can you not act like Hulk Hogan is some kind of terrorist for saying the certain word? Like, come on now. He said the word, and like he went on and apologized for it. And yeah, it's bad. It's a bad word. And especially say the hard R, but he went on and apologized for it, and he even he even baptized himself in 2 or 3 years ago to repent himself. And like, you still want to hold a grudge against him? Nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect in this world. I'm certainly not perfect in this world. And you still want to hold a grudge against Hulk Hogan. Not trying to defend what he did, but again, he held himself accountable and he apologized for it. Again, nobody is perfect. And then there are various other things that he did that were wrong. But again, nobody's perfect unless you do something really, really stupid. Then yeah, you can't hold yourself accountable for that. There's no repenting for that. I will say that though. If Hulk Hogan did something really, really stupid, then okay, I will give you that. But Hulk Hogan said a word. But to further not go into that hellhole, because we'll be here all day ranting about that. Yeah, there were plenty of drawbacks about Hulk Hogan too, but on the flip side, there was a lot to like about Hulk Hogan. Yeah, helped the WWE go into his go mainstream, and then like I said, I haven't even touched on the WCW side of things. He went over to WCW and he really made a major dent into his old employer, to ignite the Monday Night Wars, and he nearly put them into death. He nearly killed the WWF with the NWO, the formation of the NWO with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Like nobody, like just like with John Cena turning heel, although it was much less impactful, Hulk Hogan pulled off the greatest heel turn of all time by pretty much abandoning the red and gold that kids adored him for the black and white of the NWO, which was at the time pretty insane. Pretty insane that Hulk Hogan turned heel during that time. And I'm not sure how the reaction was from kids, but adults obviously were pissed too. But yeah, it was pretty insane. It was pretty insane how things were for Hogan in WCW. But nonetheless, that's exactly what you wanted. If you're like the kind of impact you want to make for any kind of wrestler. And then yeah, he still had a lot of great really good Hulk Hogan moments, even in past his prime, to wrap up the good of Hulk Hogan, capping it off with his final years in WWE as a wrestler, at least going back for one of the greatest matches of all time with The Rock, and then a fun street fight to follow it up the next year with Mr. McMahon, and then yeah, those two SummerSlam matches with Shawn Michaels and that infamous other political "that doesn't work for me, brother," and then the next year with Randy Orton. And man, what a legacy Hulk Hogan has put in not just pro wrestling, but also the mainstream media. Like he marketed himself so well. He like did a lot. He was so famous for just everything, like everything beyond wrestling, like a lot of things. Now there's like so many to list, but I'd be here all day. So we're gonna miss Hulk Hogan. Like we're definitely gonna miss Terry Bollea. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on Hulk Hogan, even after all this. But for me, I'm definitely gonna miss Hulk Hogan. Like I didn't expect Hogan to pass. Like everything passed aside. Regardless of however you feel about Hulk Hogan, like I said many times, professional wrestling wouldn't be here where it's at without the greatest wrestler of all time in Hulk Hogan. Like there wouldn't be as major of an impact in wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. So thank you, Hulk Hogan. My condolences, my prayers go out to his friends and family, and we'll miss you. But the spirit of HulkaMania will forever live on, will forever run wild, brother. And we'll always say our prayers, eat our vitamins, and train hard for Hulk Hogan, brother. And yeah, we all just have to all continue life just like Hulk Hogan did. So yeah, let me know your favorite Hulk Hogan moments. Let me know like what you loved about Hulk Hogan, whether it's in real life or in his wrestling career or just anything about Hulk Hogan. And let's have a conversation about it. And like I said, we'll miss you, Hulkster. We'll miss you, but HulkaMania will always live on.